Hello, today we're going to learn how to create a pipeline using Microsoft Fabric. Please go through my videos. You will see how far we've gone in learning how to use Microsoft Fabric. Just go through all the existing videos to learn more. Today, we're going to learn how to create a pipeline. We're going to be working with the workspace, the People WS workspace. So follow the steps. The first thing is, of course, we are the lake house. We are the lake house. The first thing we have to do is to create a new subfolder. So I'll go into the lake house, which is lake 2. It's loading. While it's loading, come on. Just waiting, it's taking a little while. So it's loaded now. We'll go to the files folder here, click on three dots, and we'll create subfolder. So click on new subfolder. I will create a folder called latest data. Okay, just to differentiate everything because we want to create a pipeline. So let's create that. Yes, so this is it now. We have a subfolder called latest data. So we'll click there. That's where we are. Now, there's a simple way of creating a pipeline. Very easy step. So we'll use what is called a copy data activity. We'll just use that one. It's simple, easy to follow. So I'll take you through that step now. First of all, you go to get data. And here you see new data pipeline. So click on that. Wait for it to create. So it's creating new pipeline. Now it's asking you for a name. Let's give it a name. Let's say latest pipeline. Just for us to follow the flow. Okay. So I make that pipeline on my wall. So let's create this pipeline, and then we'll click on create. Let's find out what's going on. Why is it highlighting it? It doesn't like underscore. Okay, amazing. So don't put underscore for name of pipeline. So I click on create. Wait for it to complete. Loading. We'll see this step, and there's gonna be like a wizard that will pop up. So I think that's what's happening now. You can see copy data into the lake house. We'll copy this data to the lake house. We'll follow this wizard. So here we'll choose a source, data source. Let's see, what do we have here? Let's just follow through. So here we have in the pipeline here we have the first step, choose data source, select a connector, then enter the connection information. So looking at this screen, we have home, one lake data hub, sample data, and then new. And then we have two items here, two sections I mean. We have new sources, and then we have one lake data hub. So we'll search for HTTP here under new sources. So let's type HTTP. You can see HTTP here. That's where we're going to get our source from. We select that one. And when it opens, you will create a new connection here. Under this, we're going to type in a URL. I'll go and copy it and then come back, okay? So I paste it here, and then new connection, create new connection, and and then specify a unique name. So this URL becomes your new connection name. Data gateway is non-authentication kind is anonymous. So we'll click on next. So it's creating the data source now. So our data is going to come from this URL. So wait for it to finish. Almost done. So we can go to the next details. So we'll also make sure that more of the options that we have are properly filled because we're picking data from the web, HTTPS. So wait for it to fully load. So as soon as it's loaded, we'll be back. Okay, it's done now. So we'll leave the first one, relative URL blank. And then here is a get method. Here we'll leave it blank. And then here, binary copy. We'll leave it unselected. Just leave it the way it is. Request timeout, leave it like that. Maximum concurrent, leave it like that. Just click on next. So wait for the data to be sampled. So this is already selected as delimited text. Now everything is already selected for us by default, and then first row as header is also selected. So this is none. So compression type, we don't want any compression, so it's none. We'll leave it blank. Okay, so that stands for none. Now on the connection to data destination, let's see, we click on, for us to just view the data, let's click on preview data. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, you can see we got data. Now let's click on next. Next. Okay, so in this next page, root folder is files because we are bringing in data. Remember in Lakehouse, when you bring in data, it comes to the file first as raw data, then after we'll now transform the data. So our folder path name, remember the folder, the subfolder we created, that's where we're going to store the data, and we call it latest data. So select that, remember, at the beginning. So we'll select that, and then the file name, we'll give it a name. So let's load. Come on, almost there. Let's scroll down. File name, we'll give it a name. Let's call it town.csv. Okay, and then of course no copy behavior. So we'll click on, you don't have to select this, I just over clicked. So let me just go back to the root folder and reselect it. Allow it to load. Just want to make sure we're doing step by step so that we don't confuse people. Just want to go back there, just select as oh, it actually goes ahead to open the folder. Okay, so as soon as it's finished loading, now we'll click on OK on that page. Let's wait for it to finish loading. Then click on OK because it has accepted that, and then we'll click on next. So what do we have? We have all these. Just confirm you have all these, then click on next. You can imagine it's following all this. We're copying data, so it's following this step. So we chose the data source, we connected the data source, and then we connect to data destination. So what's our destination is the subfolder that we selected, which we named latest underscore data, and then we click on next to take us to the review. So it shows here that we're copying data. Remember the activity we chose is called copy data. We're copying from HTTP to the lakehouse. That's source to destination. Now, keep this as it is and click on save and run. Then the copy begins. You can see start is running. Wait for it to successfully finish creating the pipeline, and then you can see that it's successfully created the pipeline. And here You see you see success here. So this is copy. This activity has taken place. Picked, remember, from HTTPS to this. You can see the notification is here. Successfully run latest pipeline. So our pipeline has been created successfully. Amazing. So this is how to create a pipeline. This is just basic copy data and it took place. So now that you know this, we have to go on. So when the pipeline starts to run, you can monitor it under the output panel. Let me show you. So drag this up so you'll be seeing what's going on. You can see that time it was running, you could actually monitor it under here. But this has finished, so is successful. So if you feel it's wasting time, you can actually refresh it by clicking on this to refresh. Okay, and then wait for it until succeeded. So it is succeeded here. So when you go all the way, check here, you see the name of that your pipeline, latest pipeline. So let's click on it and see where it takes us to. So because we're currently in the page, we can go to the lake house. This is our workspace. So let's go back and then find our latest pipeline. So this is where it is located. Amazing. We have our pipeline. Let's open it and see what it looks like this way. So this is what a pipeline looks like. Thank you for watching this video. If you got something from this page, if you got a new knowledge, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends to come and join us. So in the next video, we'll be creating a notebook. Remember how we did notebook the last class? So this time around, we'll create a notebook concerning how to create pipeline. The first one we did was just copy data. It's very simple. Next is to use notebook to create this pipeline. See you next video. Thank you. Bye bye. Hello, welcome back. Today we want to continue from our last video, which was how to create pipeline in Microsoft Fabrics. If today is your first time, please go back all the way to see all the existing videos that we have already created about Microsoft Fabrics. So today we are creating pipeline using notebook. The first one we did was to use copy data and we completed it, and this was how we completed it. So the next thing we're going to do is to use the pipeline today. So we'll go ahead and create the pipeline using notebook. So we'll go all the way to our you can go all the way to your workspace and start from the beginning, go to your lake house and all. But over here you could see that there's a notebook here, so you can actually click this notebook here. But this notebook, we click here, have you seen what it created? It created like an activity. This is not the idea. What we want to do is to use the regular notebook. So we're not choosing this one, so please just delete it. Yes, I had to click this to show you the difference. So don't click on this notebook here. Go all the way to your workbook, your workspace, and then click on your lake 2. Inside here, you'll see this bar here and click on new notebook. So we're creating a new notebook in your lake house. So wait for it to load. New notebook, and then you give that your notebook a name. It's loading. Let's wait for it to finish. As soon as it finishes, then we'll continue. Now, so remember, a notebook is composed of cells. So this is a cell. Check our previous video on when we created our first notebook. We discussed it. So today we just go ahead and continue our steps on how to create new pipeline using notebook. So here we'll give it a name later, but for now let's go ahead and type the code. So the first we're going to do is, remember, we're getting a pipeline. So we'll create a table name right now. Let's go. We have table name, table underscore name, as we'll use the name we'll call it the other time. Let's just say town, right? Town. So it's a string. So put your, so this is a string. Now in the menu for the cell, top right, we have to toggle parameter cell. So let's go toggle parameter cell. Let's go toggle parameter cells. Menu for the cell. So we'll click on here. I'm looking for toggle parameter cell. So let's see here. So you know the job of this toggle parameter cell. The work is that it will configure this particular cell we're working with. Okay. And then this variable that we declared, we declared table name as town. That's a variable name. So it would treat it as a parameter when running this notebook pipeline. So remember, go to the cell where you declared your variable. So this is variable declaration. So I can just put a comment here that people will know. However, we don't need all these other ones, so we can just delete them. We click on this. So declaring variable name to use it as a parameter. So put those comments to remind you of what you're planning to do in this cell. So now I go all the way here and then toggle parameter cell. Exactly. So now I've toggled it to treat it as a parameter when we run the notebook. And over here you can see it's indicated parameter here. So this cell now will be treated as parameter. So we'll add another cell because that's a parameter cell. We'll put another cell and then we'll type in codes. So this code, the next code I'm going to write here, the idea is to load our data. Load it from our CSV. Remember, the CSV was ingested by the copy data, that previous one that we did. So we want to bring it into the table. Okay, so let's go here. Let me remind you where it is. So go to Lake House. Remember this data here. Remember this town.csv. Yes, this data is what we want to bring into as a table. Okay, so we go all the way back here. And then I want to paste it. I've already typed it somewhere and I've pasted it. So let's look at it. So I want to bring in that town CSV. I want to bring it into here, to our table here. Okay, it's a pipeline we're building. So this is data frame. Remember, if I use notebook from your raw data, you get to data frame. So because you're using notebook. So this is the code. Here, load the data into the table. So this code here is going to utilize the variable that we declared above. So table underscore name to utilize this variable and then call it town. So that will be our table name. And it's going to pick some of the columns in the CSV file this way. So we're going to pick year, month, what's the next one? Year, month, and there's going to pick first name and last name from the full name that we have. And what again is it going to pick? And so on. So we'll see the results by the time we start. Okay. So let's go run this code. As soon as we've pasted it, next thing is for us to now run the code. So let's click on run all. So run all, run everything. So let's click on it here. See it here, run all. Click on run all, and let's see what's going to give us. So it's processing these two cells, and let's see the result. Okay. It's running, still running, and it is done. Let's see. Is it done? Or we can run it individually. Let's see. So you can see when you run individually, you can actually see the result. Then we'll run the second one, so you can see the result. You can watch it execute. So here you can see we have an error. Why do we have an error? Let's see. Let's see, what does it say? Said path not found. Path does not exist. This, that does not exist. So new data. Oh, sorry. Folder name is different, and our folder name is latest underscore data. So let's go. Path name. Let's go change it. Path name. So here, the name of our folder is called latest. So that's how to debug. Okay, so we'll run it again. You read the error message, then you go all the way to correct it. Got error. So let's watch it again. Okay, another error. It's good you're meeting all these errors, so you know how to walk through your error. It says part not found, latest data. Okay, it appears that the file name, something's wrong with the file name. So let's check it. Latest data. Oh, the D is capital. You see, it's what? Case sensitive. So I hope you're learning something. You have to make sure all these things are taken care of so you don't have error messages. So let's go edit it, and then we'll run again. This time, let's see. It's running. It appears we have encountered another error. Okay, let's check. All the way down, and it says something about unresolved calling with suggestions. So something is wrong with our calling names, right? A calling of function with this guy cannot be resolved. This means that something is wrong. Oh, you see? So I named it full name, but the name is actually customer name, and then somewhere else I named it price, but the name in the data itself is actually unit price. Put those things so that when you're writing your code, make sure everything aligns with what you have in your original data. So I'll change this to customer name, just for you to see how this works. All your errors, please make sure you correct them. Customer name, customer name, customer name, and then check out everything. Okay, here you get another error if I don't correct all these things. So this is number, and we have this as unit price. Just want you to understand that you have errors. Okay, I'll stop at this error now. I want you to see another error by the time we run this one. So let me just correct some of them. So it's not over. Let's run it again and see. Let's click. Let's watch again. Watch here. It's trying to run. Have you seen? So let's go check that thing. Remember, I wanted to change at the end. So it says here, cannot resolve it. Item order, unit tax amount, project. Okay, let's see. What do we do here? The tax amount is different. Just watch. Did you see this? This is where the error is coming from. So let's go deal with that guy. So we'll go again all the way up. All the way up. And then we'll get to where we have tax amount. Yes. And then we have tax amount. Let's try again. And now it should resolve. Okay. So let's run it. Okay. 1 of 1 succeeded, right? Told you. So it's over. Let's see. Something is still unresolved with name year cannot be resolved. Do you mean one of the following? Item, order, quantity, unit, tax amount, order, year amount, first name, last name, email, item, quantity, tax amount. Let's see what's going on here. Hmm. Okay. I want you supposed to show you something. So um you can delete a cell. Click on this and delete this cell. Okay. So let's delete this cell. And then so here we start a code, and then I copied the code for this class. Remember, depot name is town. This is a variable we declared and is a parameter. Now this is the code that will actually pick data from the CSV file that we imported earlier on called town, which is this one. Now we have to ingest it, move it to the table by creating a data frame. So df means data frame. Okay, you can say read the new sales data. So that's for this one that just imported, which is called town.csv. So read it this way. So let's run the code. We'll run each cell. Click on this one and we'll run it. Waiting. Completed. Next is to run the second cell. Watch it. We might have an error. Let's look for the error. What does it say? Part not found. New data. Okay. So my data, my folder name is called latest data. So I have to change it to this. Let me change the error here. So I click on the part name. I change it to latest. So this is where the error is. So it's capital L and then capital D in the data. It's case sensitive. Please make sure you correct every case issues that you have in your code so you don't encounter errors. So it's trying to run and it succeeded successfully. Amazing. Now let's go on and see what we have next. So we'll go here and then we'll refresh this table. Just refreshing, and then you can see what we created. So that's how we ingested data from the file, which is raw data. We converted it to a data frame, and then we're able to view it as a table under the lakehouse. So we used the notebook to make this happen. Now we have to do something else. We have to modify our pipeline. That's the next step we're going to do. The next step is to do what? Modify our pipeline. The first thing we did was to actually implement a notebook. to transform data. Okay, so we loaded the data into the table. Now we have to add this notebook that we created into a pipeline to create what we call extract, transform, and load process. Okay, that's called ETL. Now let's go ahead. We have our notebook now. Let's go ahead and incorporate it into a pipeline to create the ETL. Let's go. So here in the hub menu bar, let's look for the pipeline we created earlier. Okay, so we'll click on it. We're back to that pipeline that we created. This is it. Remember, we used copy activity for this one. Now under activities here, we'll look for more activities. So let's go all the way, click on this three dots under this is where it's located really. So click on delete data. Okay, it's a type of activity. So that's what we have here as activity. Then I'll keep this at the left of this copy data that we just have here. Okay, put at the left. Want to create the pipeline, the workflow, not the pipeline. Now, and then connect on complete. So we'll click on this is on complete. We'll connect this on complete to the copy data activity. So we'll click and then drag, point it at it and to connect. So let's do it again. Click and drag. Just click and drop it. And then you have this connection. This shows the pipeline that we're creating. Okay. Next is that we'll select this delete data. We'll select it. So click on it, select it. And then all the way under general, we'll fill up some of these options. So from our source, so first of all, let's look at the general. You can see under general, we have the name, description, it is activated, and that's that. Just leave it in this default position. Now we click on the source. Where are we starting our connection, our pipeline from? We'll start from the source. Remember, our source is the lake house. That is where it is. You can see lake house, the name of our lake house. Okay, then what's our file path? So we'll choose wildcard file path because we want to, in our code, we put asterisk. Okay, asterisk CSV. Now, what's our folder path? Our folder path is that latest distance. So we'll click browse and then we'll find it. Come on, it's loading. You can actually type it directly. Just want us to just pick it so we avoid error or anything. So you click on this. Okay, now you selected it, you click OK going forward. As soon as it's finished loading, we'll continue. So it's loading. So it's done now. Click on OK. So it picks the name. So you can actually type directly. But just to avoid issues, just make sure we have the correct name. So the white card, remember, is asterisk. That's a white card CSV. Yeah, if you remember the code that we have on our notebook, the 5 parts there. So you know it's files, latest data, wildcard.csv. So we'll leave this as it is selected. We'll scroll down for any other information. Now, after this source, we'll go to login settings, which is the next one. So the reason for this login settings, it will help you to if there's any .csv file, okay, to make sure that any .csv files that is existing will be deleted before you copy the new one that is coming, which is town.csv. So just making sure that if existing clear, then put the new one, which means our new data. So go on here, we'll go under our activity, which is where we still are, and then we'll click on this notebook. So this is time to click, you choose our notebook. Okay, remember the first time we chose it, we said, oh no, that's not it, this is an activity. So now move this notebook beside, to the right of, let's go up. Okay, why are you jumping around? So let's click all these things all the way down. Okay, so we can have room. We'll keep this one here. We'll keep it by the left here. Just arrange it the way you want it. We'll keep this one here. And then we're gonna integrate this data to move from here to the the notebook. So we'll move on. Under this copy data, we'll click on complete, and then we'll drag it all the way to the notebook. Exactly, just like we did the other one. So now we have that connection to the notebook. So this notebook, select it, and then drag this. So we'll see the output pane. So under general, the name of the notebook, you can give it a name just for us to remember. So we'll say town notebook. Town notebook. And then there's description if you want to. For now, it's optional. And then activity, leave it as it is, and we'll scroll all the way down. And then under settings, we just go all the way to settings. Then our workspace selected, of course, we know our workspace is people WS. Then the notebook, we'll load our notebook. So what did we do here? Called it town notebook, which is actually the notebook one. Okay, notebook one, that first notebook. I'll just select it. I'm the one that changed the name. Okay, so it's notebook one, and then I wonder why I did not pick the name. But let's see. Go to settings and see whether it will allow us to pick the name. So let's click on new and see what happens. Oh, okay, so this doesn't work. Go all the way back. Let's go back to where we came from. Pipeline. So that doesn't work. Let's click on refresh to see whether we can see our new. Let's see. Click here. Let's click on dynamic content and see whether we can see our notebook. Just making sure you have a view of all this. Okay, so it doesn't work that way. So remember, it doesn't work that way. So the first name is the notebook one, which we changed. So we'll stick to that name, notebook one. Okay, then we'll go to base parameter, and then remember the parameter we created in our notebook. So this is where you're gonna add it now. So click on add new, then under new, type the table name, table underscore name, and then type is a string, so type string, and then the value call it town, right? So town. Okay, let's see. So now that we have this, that's all we have to do here. Next, we'll go to the home tab here, and then click on save icon. It says error, fix it before. So saving error. Why? Parameter table can't be empty. Let's see. Parameter table can't be empty. String. So moving on to fix the error message that we got the other time. So make sure that this type, it said parameter type can't be empty. So when we had the error there, is because whatever you typed here, you have to actually hit the enter button on your keyboard for it to jump in here. Okay, so I've already done that. That's what you can see. So just in case you're having issues and this type button was empty earlier on, okay, just hit the enter button and then it will fix. So you can see here it said fixed. The error has been fixed. So I can close this guy now and then we'll continue what we were doing earlier on. Now from the home tab here, we want to save our work. So click on save to save our pipeline. Validation on model failed fix before saving. So let's find out what's going on. So please set a connection for login. Set connection for login. So click on this guy, pipeline output, connection for login. Okay, here we didn't put any connection. So we'll go and fix that. Unselect this guy so it doesn't ask us for login. So you can see that it is fixed again. So let's click close and we'll save it. So let's click on save. So saving our work now. Completed. So saving completed. So there's nothing happen. Everything is fixed here. So this was mistake. So I need to delete it. I don't know. My hand clicked on something. So I've taken that one off. So it succeeded. We completed this pipeline. So now this is how we succeeded in creating a pipeline. We started with what? We copied data using copy data activity. We created a notebook, which I can show you again. So let's go to notebook. Created a notebook. Okay, so this is your notebook. And then we created a pipeline. It's loading. Let's wait for it to finish loading. So this is actually how to create a pipeline. So first of all, it will check as data is coming. If it's already existing, delete whatever you have in the pipeline when you're done deleting it. Okay, then comes in here as data, then it goes to our notebook. So that's what the connection is about. So this is how to set up a pipeline in Microsoft Fabric. So in this exercise, what we did, we'll go to the explore pane of our lake house. So let's go to lake house 3. Start with our work. So go to our lake house, go to this latest data. No, we mean go to our table. Let's refresh it. Refresh this table. Okay, so we created this. Let's preview the content. It's loading. So remember, this table was created using the notebook. Okay, so that is it. So we implemented what we call the data injection, which uses a pipeline to copy it to your lake house. So I hope we got something today. Please like and subscribe. Tell your friends to come and learn from us every day. we have videos loading every day or every week, depending on how at the time we have to create the videos. So please like, subscribe. Thank you for watching today. Bye bye. Hello, today we have a new topic called how to create Dataflow Gen2 to ingest data. We've tried using copy data activity to ingest data. Now we want to use Dataflow Gen2 to ingest data. So welcome back. And if you're new today, please go all the way to watch our previous videos on Microsoft Fabrics. Today we have it, like I said earlier, today we're talking about Dataflow Gen2 to ingest data. So let's move on. So first of all, we're in our workspace called People WS. In our workspace, we have our Lakehouse, semantic model, SQL analytics, our pipeline, and our notebook. So now let's go on. We'll go into our Lakehouse. In here, we'll click on Get Data, and then click on New Dataflow Gen2. That's what we're working on today. So after some time, let's wait for it in seconds. But if anything is delaying it, wait for it to finish before we can move on. Now it's finished loading. We'll go and select the different options here, either to import from Excel, from SQL Server, import data from text or CSV file, import from Dataflow. So the data we have is actually CSV file. And then we'll click here to import our CSV file. So we have two types of connection here. So connect to data source. Our data source is CSV. Here we have connection settings. So we have two types. So we have link to file and then upload file. When you click on it, you can see that your account does not have sufficient license for OneDrive, blah, blah, blah. Well, in case your own has, then go ahead and use this one. But for today's lecture, we're using link to a file. So we need our URL, a file path. I have an existing one, which I've brought in here. So having this is a source. What we do is to continue filling the other parameters. So here we have new connection, we have none, and we have authentication kind. We'll put it as anonymous. Okay. So what we'll do, leave everything as it is and click on next. You click on next, is connecting to data source. Almost there. So wait for it to completely connect to the data source. Okay, it's taking longer than expected. Like I said, if anything's happening, usually it takes like seconds, but if it's delaying, just wait for it to finish. Now it's finished. You can see what it looks like. Okay, so moving on, we'll click on create. Click on create to create the data source. This is what's happening now. Okay, you can see it took us to Power Query Editor. It shows us our data. So we'll move on. Let's go to add columns. We click on add columns. We click on custom columns. Remember, we're trying to ingest data. So we'll give it a name. We'll give this column a name. I want to create a new column name. So we'll call it let's call it something. MO number. We'll call it this. And we set data type as whole number. Whole number. Click on whole number. And then we add the following formula here. So date.month, and then this column name, because that's where we're going to pick the, the, the data from. I'll select all the dates. Okay, so we have this. Moving on, we'll click on OK. So when we click on OK, it's going to create a new column, and the column name will be this name. What we to do is to get the month number of from this order date. So click on OK and wait for it to complete. So you can see it here, the month number. That's what that's created. Now let's check what's the data. The we have to confirm the data type for this column is whole number, and then the order date is dates. Yes, it's date, and then this is number. Okay, so it's date and then whole number is correct data types as expected. Now I want to set up the data destination. Remember, we're pulling data from source and then the destination. We want to set it up. So let's go all the way, go to the home tab, click on the home tab. When we get there, then look for add data destination. So add data destination, add data destination. Okay, so we have it all the way here. Yes, so what we want to do next is to add data destination for our data flow. Okay, so when you are in this home page, the home tab here, you see here add data destination is already grayed out, and the reason being that you already have a data destination set. Okay, so let's check for it. We can do for it here under the query settings. Let's see. Okay, it's been set already. You can see data destination has been set to your your lake house. So for you to change it, you click on this and then change it to what it's supposed to be. Okay, so here we have just notice that it says not all connections could be loaded because there are too many connections, so you just ignore that. So in this place we click on edit the connection. We'll click on the edit connection, and then you scroll all the way down. I'm currently signed in like this, which is our organization's BI identity. So I'll just go on and click on next. But if your one is not set up, you have to sign in. If you're asking for sign in, then please sign in. So I click on next. So in this next here, select the correct workspace. So I click on this one, which is my workspace. So I'll specify, I'll just click on the new table name as, oh, okay, cannot contain table name is this. And then we'll choose a destination. We'll go to our choose destination settings and then do some settings there. So We'll go all the way, click on, as soon as we're done with this, a container for the table. So I expand, I think I need to expand this. Click on the lake house. Okay, and then click on next. This is our table name. Click on next. That is where the table we created in our lake house. So when you have this, we'll go all the way. On this choose destination settings, all we'll do is to select append, and then save settings. So let's go all the way. Then we have everything. The columns are mapped. It has automatic settings, so we just click on save settings. Okay, it already has automatic settings. Okay, we have everything now. So on the menu bar here, we'll click on view, and then we'll click on diagram view. So we select the diagram view. So this is diagram view. So you notice that your lake house, see your destination. Notice that that's your lake house as destination. So it moves from source as CSV and it moves all the way and it gets to your destination. So that's how it works. Okay. Now since we already have set up the data flow like this, the next thing to do is to publish it. So we'll publish our data flow because we have completed it. So click on publish. Then wait for it to completely publish, and you can see we now have our data flow. So let's click on it. Allow it to finish completing the work it's doing. It's just in progress. The publish is in progress. You can see the publishing is in progress. So wait for it to finish publishing. While we wait for it to finish publishing, the next thing we're going to do is to add our data flow to a pipeline. Okay, we'll add it to a pipeline. So remember, you can add, now it's completed, you can see it's completed. Remember, when we're using the pipeline, so those activities that we added. So you can actually also add a data flow as an activity on that pipeline. So I'll show you that. Okay. We want to create a new data pipeline for this purpose. So go to the workspace. This is our workspace, right? So from this our workspace, we'll click on new and then data pipeline, you can see. Okay. So let's call it a name. Let's just give it a name. Call it data load. So let's say data flow load. Let's call it that, and then create. Wait for it to load. You can see what we have now. So we have build a data pipeline to organize and move your data. So you can either start blank or with guidance. Okay. So for this purpose, we'll just click on this blank. So we'll just click on add pipeline activity. So let's click on this. Okay, and then we'll click on data flow. Okay, so this is our pipeline now. So having this here, we'll go to settings, this settings tab. So let's click on settings. Make sure you select this. You have to select it first. So go all the way down. Let's click this guy. Wait for the settings. So this is the setting we're talking about. So having that selected, let's make sure we can see it. Let's see, minimize. Okay, I'm looking for that. So let me just scroll this thing down, have access to that. Where are you? Minimize. Let me just say caption. Okay, so let's minimize it. Okay, just to keep my eye on it. So I'll just drag it here and then click all the way up. Good. So we'll go to the settings bar. Here we already have the name, Dataflow as the name. There's nothing to add here. We'll click on these settings here, not this one. Okay, don't click on this one. We're clicking on this one. So let's go on the, we have this, so you can see the workspace is people WS, and then you select the data flow, which is this data flow one. Okay, now we'll go ahead and save this pipeline. So it's saving it. Saved. Saved. So we'll continue our work. Let's click on run now. Now that your pipeline is completed, we'll click on run and then keep your eye on this is running here, and then keep an eye, see it's queued here. So look, keep an eye on it until it's successful. So here it's in progress. It's in progress. You can actually refresh something, just maybe after some seconds, just refresh just in case something's delaying it. But for now, it's running. So we'll give it time to finish running. As soon as it finish running, we'll complete the step. Okay, still running, still in progress, so we can refresh. Still running, in progress. You can see the in progress here too, and in progress here too. As soon as it's done, you see a check mark here as successful. So let's give it time to run. We'll return as soon as it's completed. Okay, welcome back. It's the pipeline run has completed and it was successful. You can see succeeded. So let's go and check it out. We'll go to our workspace. Let's go there. And then let's go to our lake house. Here, click on refresh to refresh what just happened. And then in there, expand it, and you see
Our table did not show, so we have to refresh again.
okay, you can see after refreshing, the name of the table is out now. It's called orders one. Okay, the process has completed. So this is how to create a pipeline using Dataflow Gen2. I hope you learned this step properly. You can always re-watch the video to learn more. But if you got value from this video, please like and subscribe, and also let your friends know that we're running Microsoft Fabric training, so you know how to use it. So thank you very much. Bye. See you in the next video.